Revelations.Unveiled.Detroit.
Praises, all praises to the heavenly, holy, almighty creator of infinity, eternity, the universe, and all there is. This is Revelations.Unveiled.Detroit. Hello, family. We are back together again for this fine, wonderful Friday Eve. And for my brothers and sisters of the diaspora and of the house of Jacob, it is the beginning of the Holy Sabbath. All praises. And as we come together in our wonderful zone of safety, comfort, compassion, love, we are once together again in this wonderful congregation for this excellent convocation. And we are back with our wonderful brother, NFL, former NFL Super Bowl champ, man of the world, man of the community, world traveler, author, and foundation creator. And he is here to bless us with the segment of life for the young brothers, the football lovers, and the man in Detroit of the glory days of his NFL career, from the beginnings all the way up to the pinnacle of championship. So family, once again, we are bringing on in love and pleasure with privilege, brother Lionel Dalton, our native son of Detroit. And where are you, brother Dalton? There you go. What is
What's up,
going on? How are you doing this evening?
brother? I'm doing great this evening. Just had a still recovering from all that food I had yesterday on Thanksgiving. But it was nice to see family. Nice to be home. Had a great thing. Had a great holiday yesterday.
Fantastic. Friends, family, food, the three F's. Fantastic. You cannot beat that. And so, family, let's get Brother Dalton's share up here so we can see what's going down. And Brother Dalton, you are here to bless us with some stories, tales, the pains and the pleasures of your football career. So, definitely, through our previous episodes, you led us through your childhood in Detroit, all the way up to your college days. You led us through the college days in your maturation as a man and as an athlete. And one thing you left off was that great day of disappointment at that point in life in college,
Mhm.
where at your collegiate football opportunity to go into the NFL draft, you thought third round. Then at the end of the day, take us from that point there, bro.
Well, it was. Yeah, so it was. After leaving the Hula Bowl, my agent told me he thought third round. He projected third round. He said from the teams he spoke with at the All Star game and coaches, they predicted me to go third round. So my family. So I thought I was gonna go the first day of the draft. My family put together a nice party, had friends and family over, food. We was excited. Um, watching the draft. Um, and after that last pick, as I realized, I thought maybe I wasn't going to have an opportunity. Maybe I would have to go to the Canadian League or the Arena League. I had no idea what was next. I got a call from Jacob Burney from the Baltimore Ravens and um, what was the coach for Philadelphia Eagles right now? I can't remember. For the Kansas City Chiefs coach right now, I forgot his name. I should know that. But they both called me and offered me free agent deals. And what a free agent deal is like, pretty much like walking on in college. And they offer you, to give everybody hundreds of thousands and millions. But I got offered $2,500 from Philly and $1,500 from Baltimore Ravens to sign as undrafted free agent. For some reason, I felt comfortable going to Baltimore, and I took the lesser amount. It wasn't that a big amount, but for somebody that was broke, that was a lot of money at the time. Somebody broke at the time, that was a lot of money. So I ended up going with Baltimore. I felt comfortable. I spoke with my actual position coach, and he told me he would like me to come down and try out. I drove down to Baltimore. I drove from Detroit to Baltimore. The day I got to Baltimore, my car broke down. My engine locked up on me, so I had no car. So my
Hold on,
hoopty
hold on.
broke.
Hold on. The car done broke down. Wait a minute. Go back. Go back to the amount.
So I had see when I came out, free agent rookies got like anywhere from $10,000 to $1,000 just to sign. They have to give you something to sign. So I was offered 2,500 from Philadelphia Eagles, and I was offered 1,500 from the Baltimore Ravens. I spoke with my actual position coach for the Baltimore Ravens, and I felt comfortable with him, and I decided to go with Baltimore. Um, Um, took the 1,500, got my hoopty, fixed up the best I could. I took 1,000 of it and put 500 in my pocket.
Okay.
By the, by the time I got to Baltimore, I guess I didn't do it. I didn't have I needed an oil change. I guess I didn't change the oil. The engine locked up on me. So my car broke down actually in the Baltimore Ravens facility parking lot. And I had a couple mechanics come out. They said it was shot. I needed a whole new engine. So I pretty much traded the car in for junk for parts. Got another $5,000. So I'm working with $5,500 my first day with the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
Went to the facility, met the players, met the guy they drafted in front of me. He was a little cocky, arrogant. He came up poor too, but to go from being broke to get a cut to getting like almost $500,000, your swag a little different. So,
Absolutely.
he was acting kind of cocky and arrogant. He knew he was the man. Instantly, I didn't like that
Okay.
guy. I was mad they didn't pick me, and I looked like they picked this joke over me. So he instantly became my enemy.
Okay. Hey,
Go ahead. You had a
no,
question?
at the beginning. Go ahead.
Um, so what I did was back then my high school coach used to make us listen to Zig Ziglar. So and I remember him talking about mindset and thinking. So pretty much I pretty much stalked this guy, and everything he did, I did one more rep. So if he did 10 reps, I did 11. If he ran 12 laps, I ran 13. I would even get up in the middle of the night when I go to the bathroom and do 5 push-ups. In my mind, I'm mentally stronger than him. He's not doing 5 push-ups at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I pretty much stalked this guy and outworked him. Long story short, they end up putting him on practice squad. I end up being on the active roster. And so
Okay.
he got all the money and he get put on practice squad, but I got to play in the games and I only got $1,500. So but it was a blessing anyway because it made me work hard and I had a chip on my shoulder, which helped me and which I kept that chip for most of my career. Um, so I played for Baltimore for 3 years, for 4 years. My third year they finally gave me a nice, decent signing bonus for about 1.5. And then the next year, because I had they put me on what's that called? Franchise tag me after we won the Super Bowl because the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I was a free agent rookie, a team can come get you off of waivers in your third year because you were a free agent rookie. And so the Ravens had to either pay me, they either had to franchise tag me or let the Steelers take me. So the Ravens ended up franchise tagging me and gave me a signing bonus for 1.2. And so that made up for all the for the 1,500. So I ended up buying me a new car on my third year. I was pretty much working with my roommate at the time, who was also from Detroit, Larry Fitzpatrick. He would pretty much drive me to practice every day for the first 2 years, and we lived together.
Okay.
Um, so
Now,
long story. Go ahead.
okay. So that was a quick summary of 3 years from the 1,500 to the 1.5 million. That's like what? 10,000% increase
Right.
over 1,000 days. So let me
Yes.
start with numbers. Now, when you get to the facility,
Mm-hmm.
when did it hit you? You were an actual NFL player.
That's a
For
good
the
story.
other named players on the team, what did you
Right,
think when you saw them? You're there now. What is that
right.
feeling?
I mean, so as a kid, you grow up and you have different dreams. Mine was to play football or play professional sports. And I remember seeing the helmet, and it was like, it's like almost like a dream. Like, is this real? So I'm going to the locker room. I see the helmets in the locker room, the Raven helmet. Um, I remember becoming a little nervous when I met Charles Wilson. Rod Wilson and Ray Lewis. I'm like, damn, I'm playing with Ray Lewis. And it was a couple other guys on the team that I knew, from watching playing and growing up. So at first it was very, it was like shell shock. But
Okay.
that all went away after I got hit in the mouth first practice.
Okay. Right there. Now, in the previous episode, you indicated based on your size and ability in college,
Hmm.
you felt you were playing as a man among boys.
Right.
Now you here with the best of the best,
Hmm.
and you just said you took a nice little whack right there.
Hmm.
Okay, so now for the up and coming young brothers in college now, what should they be prepared for? You say this was the first practice?
The first practice, I was running a stunt, and Orlando Brown, rest in peace. I don't know if you guys got hit in the eye with the referee thing and sued the NFL with Johnny Cochran.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, that was my brother. We ended up becoming really close, but this dude hit me so hard he gave me TMI. My jaw started popping, and, and then I looked at this dude and this dude was like 6'9" with 10% body fat and 350 pounds, and as he
Six
hit me,
nine
yeah, he was a big man, like 6'8", 6'7", 6'8". I'm saying 6'9", but he was big.
football, not football, basketball size or height.
He was basketball height, but he had a foot. He was 350 pounds.
That's kind of
He looked like Bob Sapp. I don't know if you know Bob Sapp. He was
uh
the fight in the the fighter.
okay.
Yeah, he looked like Bob Sapp. I actually played with Bob Sapp as well. He tried out for the Ravens, but yeah, he smacked me in the mouth. I realized, okay, so what you gonna do now? These dudes strong as you, someone fast than you. Well, to me, like I said, I'm from Detroit.
Yes.
I'm like, it's either this or go back home. So I was on my 50 Cent, get rich or die trying. And but it kept me alert in like each play. Like when I was in Eastern, I could play around with guys. Every my rookie year, practice was like a game for me because I had to be very seriously, very precise, and coaches weren't playing. And I was a free agent rookie, and usually they cut most of the free agent rookies. It was me and maybe one other free agent rookie that made it on that team, which was Priest Holmes was a free agent rookie. A lot of people don't know.
Okay.
And I made the team. What are we talking about? Yeah, so I was talking. Yeah, so that first play kind of woke me up, and I realized this was serious. This was serious as a job, and the more comfortable I got in the scheme, the better I became as a player. And I think that chip on my shoulder from not being signed kind of propelled me through my career because I realized that always trying to prove to everybody I belong here, and so that helped me because when you were a free agent rookie, they be cutting people right and left, and they usually the guys like me, free agent rookies, so they paid nothing, they cut first. So
Hmm.
every night, I'm prayed up. I actually put my Jesus piece on the doorknob of the hotel, thinking that Jesus was gonna stop me from coming in there and getting me. Man, I was so superstitious, brother. I did everything, man. I didn't care. I would have prayed to whoever to make the team.
Now, okay. Just the metrics. You get
Uh-huh.
the bone or the signing set up to
Hmm.
come to Baltimore.
Yes.
You get a weekly or bi-weekly salary because you're a rookie. Is it minimum wage? How does that measure out?
So it's
What
two
you get
different ones.
paid?
So my
Uh-huh.
friend, well, he my friend now. The guy that I didn't like, he got. you get the pay. You either get the practice squad salary or the active salary. So because I was active, the basic salary for a rookie was 156,000. So I got roughly like $6,000, $7,000 a week, which is crazy. Now it was 500,000.
Okay,
But
now,
yeah,
right
now it's
there,
500. Huh?
right there, you getting this grip. Now, okay, so 1 month or at the draft,
Mm-hmm.
no, didn't get draft, right?
Right.
2 months later, you getting 6 G's in your hand.
Right.
How you dealing with that transition of finances as
Mm.
you moving into this new life?
Man, I was a straight up Detroit Negro with the money. Bought me a new car, bought me a chain. That's back when cell phones just started really popping. Had me a cell phone, got me a white girl,
Oh,
and I got my NFL starter kit.
bro. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
And I was lost in the matrix, feeling myself a little bit. This is all in my book too. You talking about it?
Absolutely.
And I got lost in the sauce for a minute. I was feeling myself. I was like, I was in disbelief. I'm hanging out with partying with Ray Lewis and what's that dude? Morris Chestnut was his best friend. I'm kicking it with him. They
He frat
upstairs,
too.
huh?
Morris Chestnut frat.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, I see him all the time in Atlanta. I'm
Oh,
I'm I'm, I'm, I'm gonna dap him up next time I see him.
yes, sir.
So Morris Chestnut and they upstairs. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but him and Ray upstairs messing around with Trina and that girl. This is before Trina blew up.
Oh,
So they up
bro.
there running. I don't know what they running on her, but they was up there having a good time with Trina.
Okay. Oh, now
Uh-huh.
you from the hood.
Right.
What is it like? Okay, we talking transitions.
Right.
You taking us into unknown worlds, bro.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, like I said, uh, didn't get drafted. Now you are with celebrity stars
Uh-huh.
in their arena. What
Right.
is that arena?
I mean, the first one was Ray. Ray used to throw a lot of parties at his house before the case, for the murder trial. After that, he cleaned his act up and he was like, he was a Boy Scout after that. He didn't party or kick at anything. But before everything happened, Ray used to throw some really dope parties at his house. And that was like the place to be. Every Friday, every other Saturday, he would throw a dope party at his house. So different guys have parties at their house. You go to fundraisers, all types, like after hour spots where you in there, you in there with the Oreos and the Washington Wizards having parties in the back, girls in the back room. It was like it was wild, man. It was wild, and pretty much you can name anything you name. I pretty much seen, and you've been offered everything from coke to crack to weed.
Oh,
Everybody got their device, and it was wild, man. And shoot, I'm lucky I grew up in Detroit where I was exposed to a lot of this stuff already, and I didn't get sucked into it because a lot of guys get sucked up into it and get have issues off the field with substance abuse issues and trying to fit in. And so I didn't fall into that peer pressure because I'm from the hood, so I ain't whatever. I don't need to do that to have a good time.
well said, sir. Well said. Now, okay, and now you opened it up. You on that professional level, so you are hanging out with the city or the area's professional basketball team and
Hmm.
baseball players and
Hmm.
local actors and things of that.
Right.
So, I mean, limousines and lights. Now, tell me this:
Hmm.
what's the ethnic or cultural transition? Because now you also meeting other groups or other folk with big money,
Right. What you mean the ethical? What you mean by that? Like, what's the
other folk, not us.
what do they do?
No, you're networking. You are
Oh,
exposed.
I'm
You're
gonna say
meeting.
what Chris Rock said something. The closest a black man can feel like being white is being a celebrity. If that makes sense.
Heard that. Say it again.
The closest a black man can feel like being a white man of privilege or a white person of privilege in the United States is being a celebrity. I got a lot of love from a lot of people. I went from hating police growing up in Detroit, going through the crack era, to police being my best friends. To this day, I still talk to the Ravens security and chief of police. It's just a different dynamic. They approach you differently when they feel that you're somebody respected or somebody special. So it was just a different. How I dealt with people was different, and how they dealt with me, how they approached me was different than when I was just a young boy in Detroit. Running around doing whatever.
Oh, now I'm gonna throw something at you.
Hmm.
On that level, you still 6'2", 300, and dark skin.
Hmm.
You just changed or got a job.
Right.
So did you just having a job, quote unquote, give you that respectability amongst them folk?
Combination of that and me knowing how to talk around them folks to make them feel comfortable. If that
Okay,
makes sense.
it does. Okay.
You
Now
know,
the owner of
I'm good at playing the unthreatening black man.
so that's a technique we're using. Or
Right.
yeah, I understand, I just that for the record. Now, the owner of the team, for
Hmm.
example, you met with him, you interacted.
Right.
What is it like to be in that conversation with a billionaire?
The owner of the team, cool as shit, man. His wife to this day tell me I was her favorite player. When I'm the new owner, it was when they was transitioning, and we had family day, and it was some family just sitting out there, and I was just rapping with them. I had no idea who they were. I was just speaking to the family, talking to them. Had no idea it was the owner's wife. She fell in love with me, and to this day, I just saw her at the last game, and I go to his skybox when I'm in Baltimore. So the owner of the Ravens team, he like one of the fellas. He didn't have money growing up either.
Okay.
So he grew up, Italian brother. I think he grew up in Baltimore, somewhere outside of Maryland. His father worked in the factory. He didn't. He got an engineering degree and he created this engineering temp service for engineers and blew up. And so he he cool, man. Like he's not like some of the owners can be a little stuffy, but this guy, like the Washington Redskins owner, is stuffy is. But I don't want to say that on here a lot, but he was cool, man. Bashanti's a cool brother. I like him. He hang out with me. He's always been nice to me, and his family is really humble. I know his wife and kids are very humble. So
And you still got a good relationship with them and the team.
yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, now we going back to the field.
Hmm.
What is a game day like? And I'm gonna throw a little mess in it. What's a game day like against the Lions?
Whew. So that was actually because I used to dress, but I didn't play. So my
Okay.
first game actually playing was against the Detroit Lions,
Oh
and they
man.
let me play because the team, the guy who was the coach, Ted Marchibroda, I passed in West in Peace. He's from the D, and he coached UD when they had a football team. I didn't even know UD had a football team. That's
Okay.
how old this guy was. He used to tell me the history of Detroit. He knew a lot of history of Detroit because he's from there. And he was like 70 at the time, and he knew a lot about the history of Detroit. So that's kind of my connection with the old head coach. We used to always talk to me about Detroit because he grew up
Say his
there.
name again for me.
Ted Marshall-Broda. Ted
Excellent.
Marshall-Broda.
Yes, sir.
And so he made sure that I was gonna play. He told me I'm gonna play for this Detroit Lions game. So I was fired up. So and so I told my family, and everybody came down. So my little $6,000 check ended up being about $1,000 after I had to purchase all the tickets.
a good investment though.
I mean, it was good. It was a good experience for my family to see me play Lions, and
Hmm.
then being able to tackle Barry Sanders and make him fumble. Was the icing on the cake. It was like tackling
Oh,
the person you worship growing up. And
you
I'm the last
made
person to
very.
make Barry Sanders fumble. Actually,
Oh my. Say it again.
my, my first game was Barry Sanders' last game in the NFL.
And you put it on Bear.
Yeah, Barry fumbled in the end zone. We got it. We got a safety or a touchdown. Sarah Goose jumped on it, And Barry didn't play no more the rest of the game. He's like, I'm done with this. And then he just retired. He retired after that game.
Uh-oh, you did something to him, put some jelly on him.
No, I think he was tired of getting beat up playing for the Lions.
All right. Now you building up your skill,
Mm-hmm.
your relationships.
Mm-hmm.
When did the team know about Jelly Roll?
Well, the team always knew about me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my come out game was against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I had a great game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think I had about 4 tackles for a loss, and I had a fumble recovery. It was like my best. It was my first really good game. It was actually my first game ball as well. And a guy that used to pick on me all the time, by the name of Benny Thompson, he used to like to mess with the rookies. He actually gave me a compliment. So I knew of him. His silly self gave me a compliment. I must have really been playing a good game. And so at the Pittsburgh Steelers game, I got a lot more respect from my teammates and the veterans on the team.
Pittsburgh used to be running kind of strong back in them years.
They were really good. They had Cordell Stewart and Jerome Bettis. Actually, Jerome Bettis is the one that actually introduced me to how tough the NFL was, actually, because I'm out there playing with him. I hit him one time so good, I got him to start singing my high school fight song, because that's what he played for McKinney. I played for Cooley. So
Uh-huh.
he was my rival school. So I'm singing the Cooley fight song. He's looking at me like, is this dude actually singing the Cooley fight song?
Okay.
Next next play. Next play, they ran a play where the center came out at me, then moved, and Bettis came. He chipped me so hard, my feet was in the air. He chip blocked me so hard, my feet. He skipped over me and started laughing. And that was probably the hardest hit I took in the NFL from Jerome Bettis.
From a
I didn't
running.
even see him coming. He just
Uh-huh.
came. I didn't even see him coming. And so that was kind of my introduction. Like, stay alert. Anything can happen out here. But but I had great games against Pittsburgh, because that's another thing. I was so angry at him for lighting me up like that. And then coach kind of like just showed it a million times. Even though we won the game, they always tease the younger players. So they kept rewinding the play, and like everybody was joking. So I hated Pittsburgh. And that's probably why they tried to come get me off waivers, because I have some of my best games were against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Uh-huh. Now, back in when you were talking about college days, you were on the team with Charlie Batch, our
Yep.
brother as well. Didn't he
Hmm.
go to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, he was at the Lions at this time.
Oh, that's right. He got drafted to the Lions. Did y'all
Yeah.
see each other when y'all played?
Yes, I guess we did. But was he the starting quarterback then? Was he? Did he start his rookie year? Yeah, Charlie was the quarterback. Yeah, we
Uh,
saw each other.
okay.
Yeah, but we beat that butt. I couldn't find him, so I wanted to take a picture with him, but he disappeared
Well, you
after the
know,
game. Yeah, after that game. Oh, was Charlie hurt? I don't remember, man. I don't know if Charlie was quarterback in that game or not. But we
mhm.
came out the same year, so I'm assuming. I think he did start his first year in Detroit.
Well, did you play Monday Night Football?
Yes.
How was that experience?
Well, Monday night is nice because everybody gonna see you play.
Yes.
Everybody. So Monday nights, I had like my best game. One of my best games when I was with the Chiefs was Monday night game against the Baltimore Ravens, and that's because they let me go and I was angry. But I had a great game against the Baltimore Ravens Monday night. So Monday night is like it's like a mini Super Bowl, because everybody, their mama gonna see you play. You make a touchdown, everybody gonna see it. So, you make a tackle, everybody gonna see it. So Monday night football, you get fired up because the world's watching.
The world is watching. All right. Now, let's go back into the team, the year of your championship season.
Hmm.
Tell us what's the dynamics of a team that wins a National Football Super Bowl.
I think the great thing happened for us that the new coach Brian Billett that kept our defense together and kept us with Marvin Lewis. And what we had was guys who've been playing together for like 5 to 6 years straight, and we had our backups all left. After most of our backups on defense left, including myself, went and started in other teams. So we were deep on depth. So if we didn't miss a beat, no matter who was in the game. And we played with attitude. And, and the one thing a lot of people don't know, we were all on ADA medication, which is illegal now in the NFL. And the
A-
ADA medication, and if you play a game with that, you like super alert. It puts you in an instant zone when you're playing football. And so my whole defense used to be on the ADA medication. What's it called? Riddle something. We was on, I think, yeah, Riddle.
the
But the
stuff
whole
they give
defense,
the kids in elementary.
yes, we used to take that. Sarah Goose's daughter was on it, and he used to bring it, and we used to call it the Goose Pill. And we give Goose some money, and he give us all the pill, and our defense used to be fired up on that stuff. That stuff would have you like super focused,
Huh.
especially if you didn't need it. If you didn't need it, you'd be super focused. So we'd be out there on 10, everybody in the zone.
Okay, so you go through the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're getting ready for the playoffs, and so the performance escalates. How are
Mm-hmm.
you doing?
The performance escalates.
Yeah, NFL playoffs, Super Bowl year.
Right. I had some of my best games. The Super Bowl year was probably one of my best seasons. Um, can you give me a charger? Was probably one of my best seasons. Uh, how can I explain it? I knew it was my contract was up, and each game I played it like it was a Super Bowl. Like I said, we were deep. We had Ray Lewis crazy butt, and he was constantly hype. I don't know. This dude never got tired. He was constantly hype, and so when we got tired, you would just feed off of his energy. And we were just a team. Like we had experience, we had chemistry. We've been playing together for a long time. We had great coaches, and we knew what we wanted, and we pretty much won the Super Bowl. I mean, we won games 6-9. Our field goal kicker was our leading scorer for the first 8 games of the season of our team. So our defense, pretty much won most of the game. Defense and special teams. So we were just I guess, a well-oiled unit, and we have had so much experience of playing off each other with each other that we just couldn't be stopped. And we broke every NFL record that year as well.
Were
Every
you
de-
involved?
every defense, every NFL defensive record that season as well.
Now you going to the Super Bowl. You going to the Super Bowl. Tell us about going to the Super Bowl.
Shoot, I went to the Super Bowl. I mean, shoot, it's exciting, bro. I'm not gonna lie, we went into the game knowing we was gonna win because we played the Giants in preseason, blew them out. Played them in the regular season, blew them out. So it's our third time playing the Giants. It was in the Super Bowl, and we knew that we put Rich Gannon was at the quarterback. We had put him out the game in preseason, so he was scared of us. So if you watch a lot of the games, he would like squint every time he threw the ball because we had beat him up so bad during the preseason and regular season that he was scared of us. So we kind of knew we were gonna win the game. Only thing was disappointing was we didn't get a dub. We wanted to get the first blowout Super Bowl, and they ran a kickoff back. But pretty much, the offense didn't score at all. They only scored on special teams.
Now, game is over, the confetti flying, fireworks popping off, people running on the field. It's mayhem, calamity. The
Mm-hmm.
people back in Baltimore going crazy. Where are you and what are you doing?
Sure, I'm on the field looking for my mother and my family. I'm trying to take pictures, but it was so crazy I couldn't even find them to after the ceremony, after the give us the trophy. But I was just fired up. I was a live wire back then. I was young and crazy, so we were wilding, trading jerseys. Having a good time, man. But originally I was exhausted, and I was a little upset with my coach because Goose wanted to shine that game more, and they played him a lot more. They didn't give me the rep they gave me during regular season. Because I was balling. I played like 10 plays in the Super Bowl. I got tackled for a loss, and I got a hurry that was intercepted, and it was I made the quarterback throw the ball early, and then Starks intercepted and ran it for a touchdown. So I was having a great game, but I guess the guys who getting paid the big bucks, they wanted to shine, so I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to in the Super Bowl. But I still had a great time and I enjoyed it, and I made some pretty good plays.
Absolutely. Now you went back to the big bucks. You do some great segues. What year was this in your time with Baltimore?
This is my third season with Baltimore when we won the Super Bowl.
Okay. Now you
Mm-hmm.
told us what the financials were in the first year. Did you
Mm-hmm.
get a raise the second year, a third year? Was there
Yeah,
any performance things?
yeah. Well, during the playoffs, you get an extra check. So the first check will be like 30 G's. The
Woo,
second round of playoffs will be 50 G's. And the
come
Super
on now.
Bowl, and then the Super Bowl, the winner get 150 and the losers get 80.
Mm,
And then that was the year after that year. That was the year that I got the 1.2 I was telling you about because it was my third year, and the Pittsburgh Steelers could have picked me up for waivers and gave me a new contract, but the Ravens put the franchise tag on me, which paid me 1.3 or 1.4. I forgot exactly.
mhm.
So that was the year. The one year we won the Super Bowl was the year that I got paid that following season, that fourth season.
Okay. So now we gonna give it to the youngsters
Mm-hmm.
who can start working on it now, the
Mm-hmm.
high schoolers and the college.
Right.
Tell us about navigating the taxes with these increasing amounts of money.
So, as I got my first 3 years, at the end of each season, I had to borrow money from my agent. Like I said, I was with Detroit Wild Boy. And then
Okay.
my ex-wife at the time looked at me, and she was very financially conscious. Her dad was the accountant for all the DMVs in Maryland.
Mm,
And she asked me, like, do you want to be broke? Because you're going to be broke if you keep spending money like this. So she showed me how to budget. She broke down everything. So I made 156. I spent 70 on kicking it, which means it's just cash or draws where I have no idea where it went. I spent the rest was on my rent, and the rest was on food. And so she helped me. She taught me how to write down the budget and budget. How to live on a budget. And so she helped me put together allowance that I can use each week, so I can have this. I can stretch this out and have this money when I retire. But my first 3 years, man, I blew all that money. My first 3 years in the NFL.
okay. So now where does the is having a financial planner, accountant, or an attorney, that's day one?
I say learn it for yourself because I don't trust financial advisors. I say everybody should have some type of financial literacy education before they even get to making like real money. I think that should be taught in high school,
Yes.
and I
Okay.
think you should learn all of this budgeting, investment options, and all that while you're young, so you can. They can't just take. Cause like I signed, like I did an annuity with a guy, but I didn't read the fine print. He was getting kickback. So let's say I make 5%, he'd be getting kickback 1.5 of my 5%.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why I can't just give you a flat fee? Why you got to get money off every time I make money? You know,
Okay.
and I
So
can easily do that myself. All he did is invest it into a mutual fund. I can do that myself or index 500. I can do that myself through my bank. I don't need you to do that for me. But see, I didn't understand that as a youngster. So if a youngster, you learn these investment opportunities or these investment options, you don't really need a financial advisor if you study the game. But they make it sound so difficult, but it's really not.
that was fantastic. What you just said, go back to the annuity, right?
Hmm.
Repeat what you said of what you could do yourself.
Well, what they do with the annuity is they guarantee you a certain amount on the annuity, and then so they give you 3%, and then they give, let's say they're paying you 5%. Your boy get your advisor will get 1.5 or a small percentage of that each time you make money. So they say, yes, I don't make any money off you. You don't have to pay me anything, but they don't tell you they get money on the back end.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Which you could be saving. Because when I looked at it, all he did is put my money in. Once I started to learn about financial literacy and investments, I'm
Yes.
looking like I could have just did this myself. Why am I paying him to do this? You know what I'm
So
saying? Go ahead.
you learned you could invest the money into an annuity yourself. What was
Mm-hmm.
that acronym?
Or index fund, huh?
Index fund.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And keep that back end payment yourself.
Correct.
And how long does it take to do that?
Man, all you need is a brokerage account. You get a brokerage account. You can get investing for idiots if you want, or you can even Warren Buffett said if you don't know the market, just best isn't put just give all your money to the what's it called MP 500. There's
Okay.
500 companies that you invested in, and only 2% of financial investors do better than in the index 500. Only 2%. So all these rest of these financial advisors not making, they not doing no better. So it's like you wasted your money giving it to this guy. Let's see a part of that 2%. And the 2% are usually locked up with people like Warren Buffett and Wells, dudes with billions of dollars. So most of these financial advisors don't do better than in the index 500, but they tell you that they say all this gibberish that make you think, oh my God, this is so much. When really, if you break it down and read it, it's very simple.
Okay.
So. Mhm.
That's wonderful. Okay. With your NFL schedule and not new lifestyle, or with your
Mhm.
new NFL lifestyle, what's a daily, weekly schedule of how you work or do your job?
Okay, so Sunday's the game. Monday we come in and we you get treatment. We a lot of times we lift weights and run to get the acid lactic acid out of the muscles. So
Mhm.
as they say, it's good to work out right after you have a physical game. We watch film. If you lose, you'll be there all day. If you win, it'll be a quick. So it can go from if you win, you get there 8 o'clock in the morning, you leave about 12. If you lose, you get there 8 o'clock in the morning, you leave about 4 o'clock.
Regular
And,
day.
and if you got winning streaks, sometimes coaches give you Monday off.
Okay.
But so Monday is pretty much working out, watching film. Tuesday is that day off. You have to give them a day off legally because it's. So Tuesday's usually our day off. Wednesday is grind. Pat full pads hitting, going over the game plan. Another second workout of the week. Going over the game plan. You got to walk through, go have lunch, and then you go through and you run it full gear with pads on. Wednesday, and then you go in and you watch film after practice. So you'll be there from probably 6 to 8 at night, from 6 in the morning. Because I would get there early, do treatment, do a little light run, stretch, get in the steam room. Especially as you get older, you need more time to get ready for practice. You got to warm up those muscles. So I would be there from like 6 to 8, and then Thursday the same thing, exact same schedule. Treatment, film, get yourself ready, walk through, lunch, practice. Then Friday will be just walk through. So we go out there and walk through, talk, watch a little film. Friday practice, you get out by 1, have a little lunch. A lot of times Friday guys just hang out, might go out to dinner with the fellas. Saturday is pretty much you go out there and just do a quick walk through, get showered up, put on your suit, put on your clothes, get on the bus, go to the airport, and fly to the games. Sunday the games. After the games, you come back home and do it over, repeat.
Brothers and sisters, you heard that. So, with a player of a clear and astute mind, he does have that time to study those financial avenues you're speaking of during his regular NFL work week.
Oh, you definitely got time, man. His guys are full of like big businesses doing football. I used to be in there. Saragusa had like 100 trucks running. He used to be the broker for 100 trucks. Like this guy's doing all types of business. You have time. You just about your priorities.
Okay. Okay. Now, how do endorsements fit in there? Did you have any endorsements? Uh,
Um,
how does
a
that work?
couple, a couple, nothing really big. I had a endorsement with Reebok, and they would give me like 20 stacks a year. It wasn't. I never really got a big endorsement. They would give me 20 stacks a year, and I would be able to go to and get like $50,000 worth of free Reebok gear, which I used to give for Christmas presents to everybody in my family. So I really never had a big endorsement deal, but a lot of those guys were getting like $1 million contracts. Like Ray Lewis had a $10 million contract with Nike. They would give him $10 million in cash, and they give him $1 million in merchandise. And he
Ooh,
would do commercials and do camps, and they would sponsor all his events. So it's different from player to player, but I really never got a huge endorsement deal.
Would you? How would you feel? For the players who get that opportunity to take half their payment in regular currency and half in stock of that company.
Well, stock is always better.
Stock
I
is
give you a
always,
better one. It's a brother
yeah.
who did have his contract in cryptocurrency, and that cryptocurrency had doubled since he got it. Team paid him. He got a $15 million contract, and they gave him $7 million in Bitcoin.
Ooh, so he gonna be all right
And
for
that
a while.
$7 million has doubled since then. This was like 5 years ago when Bitcoin was like $30,000. Now it was 60,000 now.
Y'all
So
hearing it, family? You are hearing it.
right, and
All right.
these are usually the players who got lawyers. Like a lot of players are getting smart, so they negotiate and they getting lawyers, pay them a fee, and then kind of negotiate their own contracts. And then you pay a lawyer that one fee, and you ain't got to pay an agent all the time.
Okay.
So a lot of guys are getting smart doing that. When they started that, when I was leaving, I noticed a few players are doing it, but now I hear about a lot of these guys have their families and just hiring lawyers and doing it themselves.
Okay. So you indicated you were receiving some financial advising from
Mm-hmm.
previous relationships. You got the franchise tag money from Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
What occurred after that?
After Baltimore didn't want to pay me what I was worth, or they didn't want to pay me. Which Ozzie Newsome came and told me last year that he wished he would have kept me, which was funny. He was wrong, but I ended up going to Baltimore. I ended up going to Denver Broncos, and I got a pretty big contract.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, new team, new
Mm-hmm.
money.
Right.
So you have the wisdom of coming into the NFL. Let's say you now going to middle school and you got some chips.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the Denver days.
Well, so this was my first time getting this amount of money. So I took about 10% of it and went, got real ghetto with it.
Oh,
Took 10% of it that year, and I was single at this time because I had just separated from ex. So I went to the Pro Bowl, the Pro Bowl, the NBA All Star game, and the Super Bowl in the same year. Um, I was just partying. I had a good time. Yeah, party, went out, you know, traveled a lot, and enjoyed. I enjoyed the fruits of my labor. But it was, other stuff. I don't know if we want to talk about it on here, but I was wilding. That was fun
in Denver?
in Denver. Yeah, Denver had a lot of fun. I
Okay,
think I had
so
too much fun. That's why they let me go.
oh my okay, bro. Now only because you was on the East Coast. We Midwest.
Right. No,
Denver's
Denver.
mile high.
Yeah, Denver not East Coast. Denver's in the West or whatever you
Baltimore.
call it. Or Baltimore. Okay.
So Baltimore East, we
Hmm.
Midwest. Denver is the mile high.
Right.
Um, were you on a team with star players at the time? Did they know you?
Yeah, I had people on there like cause Shannon Sharp had left Baltimore with me after the Super Bowl
Okay.
and went back to Denver. So
And
me and yeah, Shannon Sharp O'Shea. He was there. We had Rod Wilson, the receiver. We had Ed McCaffrey, his son balling right now, receiver. Rod Wilson. We had Al Wilson. We had some good players. Delta O'Neal, few Pro Bowl players. We had Brian Greasy. We had some. We had some. I had a. It was we weren't stacked like the Ravens, but we had some pretty good names on Denver. Some pretty
now,
big players.
of course, not putting yourself out there or nobody else out there. First, tell us about your performance there, and then tell us about the behavior, like you said, may have
I
hastened
don't
your
think
departure.
I don't think it's the performance. I think it was my attitude. In Denver, I played hard. I practiced hard. I had good practice, but they played me at a position. So in Baltimore, I played mostly over the center, and sometimes I play over the guard. They made me play over the guard, a wide technique, pass rushing, and I'm more of a run stopper. So that didn't fit me as well. And then also my coach from who used to give me a hard time in Baltimore came to Denver. And then my boy Keith Washington, who was also with me in Baltimore, was in Denver. And so Keith know I didn't really like this guy that much because he used to give me a hard time when I played in Baltimore, but he did it because he wanted me to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
But at this time I was making the big bucks. And I'm like, you're not about to talk to me like that. So he tried me, and then my boy Keith egged me on, and I said some slick stuff to him back. And and Mike Shanahan has microphones in all the rooms, so he hears everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then not too soon after I said that, Denver traded me to Washington Redskins.
Ooh. How long in Denver?
I was only in Denver a year and a half.
Okay. Uh, was it a surprise?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay. Now you on a plane to
Hmm.
Washington.
Right.
What's going on in your mind now?
Well, I played in Baltimore, so I always hung out in D.C. And I
Okay.
always liked it. When I was in Baltimore, I was in D.C. most of the time on my days off. So I like Washington. I thought the women was beautiful there. It's a lot of influential, black people that are doing well. I like DC. I like DC. I had fun in Washington. Um, it was fun, man. It was just we just sucked as a team.
Oh.
It was what's my man name? Steve Spurrier was trying to get out of the NFL, but he just wouldn't quit. He wanted to fire him because he wanted to get the other 10 million that they owed him. So he wouldn't quit because he wanted to quit. You can tell he didn't want to be there. Every time he went to a game, he stayed at a golf resort and he would golf all day. The players would run some of the practices, and he was never around. He was just trying to get out of there. So that was just kind of like a bad news bear year. That year was sucked. We sucked. We lost just about every game, but so it was an experience. So I was there for a year, and then I finally went to the team who wanted me when I first came out when Denver signed me. But Denver offered me more money. That's why I didn't go to Kansas City because I liked the coach in Kansas City better because it was more. It was ran like Baltimore, but they didn't want to offer me as much as Denver did. Like Denver offered me like triple what they offered me. So I went where the money was, but I really liked the Kansas City Chief coach better. So I ended up going to Kansas, got with coaches, probably had the best statistic year of my career there because I only had 10 sacks my whole career, but I had 7 of them in Kansas City. So
Oh.
so I had like probably my best year. I actually had a Pro Bowl year, but they picked the guy from San Diego because he went there last year, but I had a better season than him. But and I played there for like 3 years. I love playing in Kansas City. But then my coach retired, Dick Vermeil retired, and then Herm Edwards came in there and he decided he wanted to get rid of all the vets and got all new players, and that didn't work out for him. He lost all his games and they fired his butt. But and then I ended up going to Houston for a year, and that was fun. I like H Town, but I was pretty much done then. I was tired of playing by that time.
I was gonna say, okay, that was how many years by the time you got to Houston?
Houston was my ninth year.
Ninth year.
Yep.
How is your body holding up?
I never got hurt until my last year playing. I never got hurt, never missed a practice. Only practice I missed was my last year and my last year of my career. Herniated disc in my neck. They told me it was a stinger, but it was a herniated disc. I worked it out, ended up playing on that. Coming back 2 weeks later, no, actually, I had a high ankle sprain. Went to some weird Chinese doctor in Houston. So I go in his office and he got pictures of all the celebrity autographed football players on his wall, and it's dusty. This old dark room. And this Chinese dude would get this woman to massage you, and he would inject you with something. And whatever he inject me with, I was supposed to be out the rest of the season. My ankle healed in 2 weeks. I don't know what it was. He put it in me. But my ankle healed in 2 weeks. They didn't even believe it. They looked at the x-ray like, what? Where you go? And I forgot one of the players that for Houston put me on, and he healed me in 2 weeks. But then when the game I come back, I herniated a disc in my neck. So I think it was time for me to retire anyway, because God was trying to tell you it was over. He's trying to take you out easy, but I had to be stubborn and go back in there and it hurt in my disc in my neck. And I was like, I'm done. I was tired. And
Okay.
so, hmm
So now at this point,
hmm
from undrafted
right,
to 9 years,
right,
the wilding, the
hmm
partying, the celebrity, the travel, the playing, did you manage to maintain some of the financials for yourself?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guess after my third year, that's when I started. I got on the budget. I got on the budget when I first got that franchise tag. Like I said, my ex sat down with me and asked me, "You see what you've been doing the last 2 years? Do you want to be broke like a lot of these guys?" I said no. So she sat me down, put me on the budget, gave me allowance each week, and the allowance that I still use to this day. So she gave me allowance. I used that allowance, and that's all. If I spend that, I'm not spending anything else. And so it worked out for me. She taught me a lot when it comes to finances. So yeah, yeah,
Okay. So for the young brothers and sisters of Detroit and who received this message, we want financial literacy as soon as possible.
yes. Even if
Account
you don't play football, you need to have this skill.
we're addressing this to the ones who won't. They'll be the support system.
Right.
The ones who do, in the PAL leagues and the young school, they're getting their sports training.
Mm.
We want them to know taxes. What name some of the other subtopics of the financial literacy, focuses where if a person want to go into mutual funds, if one wants to just outline a few avenues, if you would.
I say budget. She got your budget.
Budgets.
Right. Put yourself on a budget and stick to it. Itemize everything you spend and what you need to everything from. I had everything on there from how much money I'm gonna spend at the grocery store and how much money I'm gonna spend at the strip club. I had everything. You put everything down. Um, and then I said, once you decide you want to start investing, I recommend studying that for a little bit first. Not for a little bit, for a lot. Always continue, never stop studying. But I say read up on it so you have some knowledge on it of what exactly you're doing and what you're getting yourself into. I recommend like index funds or mutual funds. They sound complicated, but all they're doing is putting your money into a stock, and they receiving interest, and you receive interest off these stocks and dividends off these stocks. Dividends is when company will pay you money each month for investing in their company, and you can either reinvest it back into their company or pull it out. So I recommend studying the game, studying, the market, studying people before you taking financial literacy classes. I believe in coaching. If you can afford it, pay for a coach to teach you the game, not to invest for you, but to teach you the game, so you can
Yes.
do it yourself.
From as early as possible, from middle school, high
Soon,
school, and beyond.
as soon as possible. Yes.
As soon as possible. Okay. What is the wisdoms for a man who's reached the heights of your profession for the high schoolers now?
What is the wisdom?
Yes, for them in terms of performance and discipline.
Mm. That's a good question. That's a good question. Can you say it one more time for me?
Now we segmented for the high schoolers who are
Mm-hmm.
going to be transitioning into college, junior college, small school, major school.
Mm-hmm.
What is the discipline they need to be working on in terms of performance and mentality, academics?
Consistency. Consistency with everything you do, um, and understanding that there's no losses if you don't quit. Only learning opportunities. Um, Consistency. I say consistency is more. So is consistency. Like if you're trying to learn something, keep reading, don't stop. Consistency. If you don't feel like practicing, get up and go practice. Get up and do your work. and just stay consistent. And through consistency, success comes, in my opinion.
All right. Now, for the young collegiate brothers in the midst of their careers, and
Mm-hmm.
those, I was just watching some. We come into the season now with the college football.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers about to start going into the bowl games. The seniors getting ready to go into that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
What's your wisdom for them, for those gentlemen?
I mean, if you have the opportunity to get drafted, and if that's what you want, continue to do what you're doing. They got you there. Understand that this game is not forever. It's a young man's sport. And when you do retire, let's say, I mean, even Tom Brady's the only player that's been around since I've been playing, and he's at a quarterback position. So most people don't play that long. Most people play to around 35, 36. And you're still a young man. So I recommend finding out what you like outside of football and start dibbling in that now, so the transition won't be so hard once you retire. And like I said, study finances. You don't want to have to, after you beat your body for all these years, you don't want to have to go do some job that you don't want to do. So I say I recommend studying finances, studying your money, so you can invest properly and budget properly, so you can have it for the long haul. Your money for the long haul.
Yes, sir. Please tell the athletes what discipline technique you employ to go nine, you said 9, 8 years without an injury, playing your position. I mean, come on now. That not miraculous?
What I did honestly was I got into first I used to stretch a lot, right? And I would put myself in positions that I see other players that play what I play, the positions and how they will fall and hurt themselves. So I would put myself in these positions and stretch in these positions, but really a serious yoga practice can help with recovery. So if your ligaments used to stretching already, the recovery time won't be as bad if you go just a big strong guy and don't stretch. You understand? So I think maintenance of the body is very important. Rehabbing, constantly rehab, even if you're not hurt, rehab. Because we all, once you get to that level, everybody's hurt. It's easy you hurt or you injured. If you're injured, you might not play, but everybody on the field is hurt. Something's wrong with everybody. I'm just saying consistency with maintaining your body. What you put in your body, how you treat your body is very important for the long haul to maintaining a long and prosperous career without getting hurt. Because I've seen guys go out there and he's supposed to be the man. First practice, he hurt of his career. He never played again.
Ooh,
So I think consistency and like just really maintain and take care of your body. And I recommend everybody that plays a physical sport, any sport, get a serious yoga practice.
excellent, excellent information. Now,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So you're moving out of the sphere of professional football, the limelight, the attention, the money.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what is that first year like coming back to regular humanity as Lionel Dalton?
First, I didn't do nothing. I thought I was just gonna chill and travel, but after about a year, that gets boring. You're a young man. You still want to do things. Um, like I said, I recommend dibbling in what you like while you're playing, even if it's on a small scale, so you can have a plan. I recommend networking with everybody in every team you work for, because you never know who you're gonna need once you're done playing. Because once you're done playing, if you didn't establish a relationship with you, they don't really care about you. Because you're not as important as you were when you were on the field to most people. Most people just see you as a football player, and anything outside of that, they just don't respect you as a player. They don't respect you. So I think it's important to dibble in whatever it is you want to do now while you're playing, so the transition won't be as hard, and you have connections to help you transition into your next phase of your life.
Well said. Well said. Family, brother Lionel Jelly Roll Dalton, the NFL days, glories, pain, from beginning to the pinnacle. He has shared once again the wisdom, history, and experience. On screen is the foundation um, email, foundation website address. Brother Dalton's book, Who the Hell Are We? Pick that up as soon as possible. Brother Dalton, any other contact or social network information you want to let the family know about for contacts of any events, enterprises, or activities you'll be involved in?
You can go to my Facebook page, Jelly Roll Gift of Life. That talks about all our events and fundraisers. I have one coming up for the Pittsburgh Steelers game in Baltimore next Sunday. Um, you can go to my website, Lionel Dalton, on social media, on Instagram, Twitter. We always talk about what we're doing on those pages as well. Like I'm in the process of writing a new book right now, so be looking out for that. And that's it, brother. Just keep chopping wood. Oh, I'm also in the process of reopening up my school, and that will be the whole thing. We'll be doing. We'll be teaching athletics, but we also will be teaching financial literacy. So I'm big into crypto. I like cryptocurrency, and I think that's the next wave, financial wave. So just trying to get our kids ahead of the curve and give them, you know, I think exposure is important. We wasn't exposed. I wasn't exposed to much, and I think the more we expose our kids to, the less trouble they get in. Teach them other ways of making money outside of the streets, and and just tell them, everything is mindset. Whatever you think will be your reality. So you definitely monitor those thoughts and monitor what comes out your mouth, because you usually manifest whatever kind of words are spells, man. So whatever you say, you are pretty much speaking over your life. So you got to be careful what you say and what you think, because that ends up being your reality.
Well said, bro. Well said. If Lord wills and we're able to rejoin together with the family in love, comfort, compassion, and concern, education, and edification, I want to
Mm-hmm.
get into Jelly Roll the Man and the love life. And then we're going to go into the life challenge where you can start educating us on that in terms of survival, perseverance, and making it through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. So, family, we are giving our blessings. We're giving applause to Brother Lionel Dalton. It has once again been a pleasure. We're going to wrap it up. I am going to take us home with a little bit of music. We are in love with you as well. Once again, thanks, brother. Thank you for tuning in. If you are so inclined, if you were enlightened, entertained, or blessed, please check the support link at the bottom. Absolutely share the video, share the website, pick up the book, and we'll be looking for the next volume of life from our wonderful brother. We want to say thank you. We love you. And this is Revelations.Unveiled.Detroit.